Coming up on OU Nightly, a fifth suspect now behind bars after the death of two Kansas women found in the Panhandle. Police clashing with student protesters on campuses across the nation. We have the details. And we're live at the Paycom Center as Thunder prepare for Game 2 of the playoffs. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bailey Coyle.
And I'm Kaylee Carnine. We begin tonight with breaking news. Investigators releasing the name of the fifth suspect in the murder of two Kansas women who went missing in the Panhandle. 31-year-old Paul Grice was arrested in Texas County on 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder.
This is just a week after the 4 original suspects were in court for initial appearances. One of the suspects, including the mother-in-law of one of the victims. 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly went missing on March 30th. Their bodies were found earlier this month in Texas County. We'll keep you updated as more information comes into our newsroom.
And another story we're closely watching, anti-Israeli protests are now underway at the University of Texas in Austin, and we're hearing of arrests.
Let's go!
Texas state troopers in riot gear continue to break up groups of demonstrators on the campus. So far, there are at least 3 arrests, although eyewitnesses say there could be several more just haven't been counted yet. The students at UT join groups on campuses like Columbian University in New York who say they're not leaving despite arrests on that campus. Student groups at USC in Los Angeles are also gathered, and police there are tearing down some of the tents. Just now, the campus closing their gates and requiring student ID for entry. Students say they'll keep protests going until there's a ceasefire in Israeli-Hamas war or universities stop investing money in businesses that support Israel.
And now back here on our campus, our meteorologists are tracking the next chances of severe weather.
Let's get over to our OU Nightly meteorologist, Josh Duncan, for a look at the weather.
Yeah, Kaylee, Bailey, we are gearing up for the next risk of severe weather that's going to move in tomorrow evening out across western Oklahoma. An enhanced risk, a level 3 out of 5 on our scale. It's a slight risk here in the OKC metro for storms tomorrow night. But right now we are dry across most of the state as the last few showers just exited LaFleur County over the past half hour here. And clouds are going to thicken up throughout the rest of this evening with temperatures that'll be falling through the low 70s into the upper 60s by 10 o'clock. A light wind out of the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. And over the next few days, you're going to notice the humidity really starting to increase ahead of rounds of storms with risks for severe weather. I'll detail all of them coming up.
Thanks, Josh. Now we're just a couple hours away from the OKC Thunder taking on the New Orleans Pelicans in Game 2 of the NBA playoffs. OU Nightly's Stone Weber is live with a look at the excitement building in Thunder Alley. Stone.
Yeah, guys, the Thunder are looking to go up 2-0 in their first round series against the New Orleans Pelicans. They have their first playoff series lead since 2018. I'll have the full report coming up in sports from players and coaches. Back to you.
Thanks, Stone. And the Oklahoma Attorney General is calling for the resignation of Oklahoma's Secretary of Tourism. OU Nightly's Ireland Fitzer has the details.
Following the release of a state audit, questions were raised regarding the Oklahoma Secretary of Tourism, Shelley Zumwalt. The audit revealed Zumwalt's questionable use of federal funds, including millions sent to an Oklahoma City-based IT firm called Phase 2, where her husband serves as vice president. Attorney General Getner Drummond says her actions disqualify her from overseeing the use of tax dollars. The audit also highlights the lack of bidding on contracts by the state that are paid for with federal funds. In an interview with News 9, Zumwalt denies wrongdoing and says she will not be resigning.
Multiple times in that audit, it says, you know, my husband's company. Okay. He's not in the ownership group. He is not in the ownership management group. He is an employee there, and he's one of multiple vice presidents.
According to the report, due to the misuse of funds, the federal government will demand tens of millions of dollars back from Oklahoma. The investigative audit is expected to be started soon. Live in the newsroom, Ireland Fitzer, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Ireland. President Joe Biden just signed a $95 billion international aid package. OU Nightly's Taryn Ward has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
This aid package sends nearly $65 billion in aid to Ukraine, $26 billion to Israel, and $8 billion to the Indo-Pacific region. President Biden said this morning it was, quote, a good day for America, a good day for Ukraine, and a good day for world peace. Funding for Ukraine divides the Republican Party and was part of the delay on this bill. Yet the Pentagon announced $1 billion was sent to Ukraine moments after the bill was signed. Included in the aid package just signed is a potential ban on TikTok. As of this morning, TikTok's parent company has just under 9 months until January 19, 2025, to sell the app to new owners. The TikTok ban got added to the international aid bill by House Republicans, hoping to improve the chances of it being passed. TikTok CEO Shou Chew said that TikTok isn't going anywhere and plans to challenge the ban in court. And Tennessee students are protesting after representatives passed a controversial bill earlier this week. The bill allows teachers to carry a concealed handgun at schools as long as they follow a series of regulations. These regulations include enhanced permit, written authorization from superintendents, and 80 hours of training. This comes a little over a year after 3 children and 3 adults were killed in an elementary school shooting in Nashville. And the Arizona House has voted to overturn a century-old ban on abortions after 2 failed attempts earlier this week. The effort now heads to the Senate. Bailey, Kaylee.
Thanks, Taryn. And orange dust has settled in the skies of Athens, Greece.
Find out more about the impact of this when we return.
And you may have noticed the moon looked a little different last night.
You probably heard the saying, once in a blue moon, but what about a pink one? Learn more about this pink moon up next in Earth Report. A mysterious orange haze has clouded parts of Greece. OU Nightly's Emma McAndrews has more on what has caused this haze in today's Earth Report.
A yellow-orange haze of dust from Africa has blanketed parts of Greece, including Athens. The dust from the Sahara Desert has prompted authorities to issue warnings on breathing risks and limited visibility. The country's meteorological service says the spread of dust has gradually begun to decrease this morning. It is Green Week here on campus, and this year's theme is Grow Together. The events all week are all to promote environmental sustainability and awareness. Tonight, you can catch Eco Mike Night at Second Wing Coffee, followed by a movie night in Dale Hall. Thursday, there is a farmer's market in the Union Courtyard and a group bike ride in Norman. Finally, Friday, there will be a thrift swap at the OU Food Pantry. Finally today, did you see the moon last night? OU Nightly's Willie Gillespie captured it. This moon is known as the pink moon. It got the name because of the pink flowers that are typically in bloom this time of year. The flowers are usually pink flockas and is traditionally signal that spring is here. And if you didn't catch it last night, head out tonight. Moonrise is at 9:12 and it should be visible until 7:27 tomorrow morning. Bailey, Kaylee.
Thanks, Emma. I'll be sure to go check out that moon tonight.
Me too. Pink's my favorite color.
Yes. Well, today some OU seniors are finally getting the chance to partake in a freshman tradition after COVID canceled it 4 years ago.
Coming up, we'll show you the graduation gift OU Panhellenic is giving their seniors.
We're expecting dry weather for most of tomorrow, but I'll show you when the storms come rolling in. That's next. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. Let's break down your severe weather timeline. We're mostly dry for the rest of today into tonight and all day tomorrow. Very little in the terms of rain chances coming our way until we get to about 1 a.m. Friday morning. That's when things start to change as a line of severe thunderstorms is expected to move in from western Oklahoma into central Oklahoma here. So there could be a few noisy hours early Friday morning before you wake up. And then We're dry again for most of the day Friday into at least part of Saturday morning before yet another round of strong to severe thunderstorms is likely as we head towards Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and into Saturday night as well. So lots of dry time, even though we have multiple storm chances here over the next few days and into the start of the weekend. So here's a look at Futurecast for the rest of this evening. Notice all of the clouds blanketing Oklahoma, and there will be a few scattered showers possible in the North Metro and on up here in the northeastern Oklahoma tomorrow morning. We expect dry weather here in Norman overnight tonight and into the first part of Thursday. So here's how it looks hour by hour. Starting out in the mid 60s at 8 a.m. We'll warm up only to about the mid to upper 70s tomorrow with a lot of clouds. It is just going to be a gray, gloomy day, but just not much rain falling from those clouds. Here's the severe weather risk again. It's an enhanced risk for Woodward down through Elk City for storms tomorrow evening. Those move east as we head into tomorrow night. So picking back up with Futurecast here. Again, storms, showers in the northeast tomorrow morning, not a big deal, no severe risk with those. It's western Oklahoma we're watching for the chance of some storms to get going, but there's questions of how many storms there will be tomorrow afternoon and evening. If they develop, they will pose a risk for very large hail and tornadoes in the northwest part of the state. And then our risk doesn't come in until this line of storms moves in late tomorrow night. So here it is around 2 a.m. Somewhere in that time frame, we expect a line of showers and thunderstorms to move through central Oklahoma with a damaging wind threat and possibly still a few isolated tornadoes. So have a way to receive warnings early Friday morning just in case this threat materializes. It's out of here well before sunrise on Friday. So most of the day Friday will be dry and actually mostly sunny as well. And then here's the next risk for Saturday, the first half of the weekend, another risk of severe weather, really bullseye with central Oklahoma there. So we'll be watching that one closely as well. So the weekend, storms on Saturday, we're drying out for Sunday with a high of 83. And it's looking great once we get into early next week. So live look outside here from the National Weather Center shows the current temperature of 75. Clouds thickening up overnight tonight. Lows will be in the mid 60s here at Norman. And then tomorrow, highs in the mid to upper 70s with storms well after midnight tomorrow night. Your 7-day forecast shows the changes on the way. A couple storm chances, but also lots of dry weather during the daytime. So keep that in mind as we approach the weekend.
Man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm kind of excited for the rain because I always sleep a lot better whenever it's rainy outside. Let rain noise.
That's fair. I'm kind of the opposite. I learned the other day that my apartment echoes when it rains, and so it's super loud.
Oh, I get cozy.
So we'll have the rain. We'll also have the lightning and thunder to deal with.
Okay,
so a little bit
maybe
noisy there coming up.
Yes. Well, thank you, Josh. And for this year's graduating class, their college experience started off different than most. But tonight, some seniors are getting a taste of what they missed out on. OU Nightly's Kinzer Eiserman has that story.
The COVID-19 pandemic affected the lives of many, including freshman college students.
It was so bizarre. First of all, doing Zoom with all my classes is really hard to learn. All social events were just basically completely cut off.
For students in Greek life like Delaney, they never got a true introduction of what college life was like.
College started off on not the wrong foot, but it was definitely just a little weird to get in the groove of things. And then sophomore year, everything just switched to in-person.
Tonight, right here in the South Oval, OU Panhellenic is making up for these lost experiences just 4 years later.
We'll be having a senior recognition ceremony, and so the purpose of this is to recognize and honor all of our seniors by giving them this bid day, and they'll once again get a feel of what it was supposed to be like.
Since our bid day, we just did not get to run home. I know they tried their best to make up for it. It just was not the same as running home, seeing every girl in the sorority hold up your name on a sign, and then everyone surrounding you with hugs, and you can see everyone's faces. So yeah, I'm really excited.
For the class of 2024, graduation is knocking on its door. But for now, they get to experience one last time what it's like to come home. Kenzie Eiserman, OU Nightly.
OU Panhellenic says it plans to make this senior celebration an annual event. For more information on tonight's activities, you can check out your sorority or Panhellenic's website.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are back at it for Game 2 in the first round of the NBA playoffs.
They look to extend their win column as they face the Pelicans coming up in sports.
Yeah, that's right, Bailey. We've got a live look from the Paycom Center ahead of Game 2, and OU baseball went looking for their 8th straight win on Tuesday. Did the Sooners steamroll through, or did Skip's streak finally end? I'll have that and more coming up next in sports. It's time for sports. We continue our coverage of the NBA playoffs tonight. OU Nightly's Stone Weber is live outside the Paycom Center for Game 2 between the Thunder and the Pelicans.
Yeah, Ryan, the Thunder are looking to go up 2-0 in their first round playoff series against the New Orleans Pelicans. They squeaked out a win in Game 1, 94-92, and they credit that win to their prep work and depth.
You don't have 3 days to prepare for a team that you know you're going to play again 2 days after that. So, you know, everybody knows what each other does, has seen it, and now everybody's played against each other. So it's fresh on people's mind. They know what they do, and you know, that really makes offenses tough.
But there's advantages to having depth. Like I said last night, I don't think our roster, you know, really drops off in a way that makes it obvious which 7 or 8 guys to play. It's game 1, you know. We've played like that all year. I have great confidence in our team. They have great confidence in each other.
Now, if the Thunder can pull off the win tonight, they'll be one step closer to winning their first playoff series since 2016. Reporting live from outside the Paycom Center, Stone Weber, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Stone. OU baseball took on Wichita State last night to try and extend their win streak to 8. Easton Carmichael led the way in the box, driving home 2 on this single in the 3rd. But it was the pitching that stole the show away with 7 different arms, only giving up 1 run in the 3-1 win over the Shockers. And after a solid performance on the mound, senior southpaw Carter Campbell is confident heading into the rest of the year.
Across the board, our whole team, like every aspect, I think we have the guys that we need to go on and do something big this year. And like I said, hitters didn't have it tonight, but the pitchers did. We had to pick them up, and you know that's what good teams do. So plan to keep doing that forward.
Well, swinging it over to the links, OU men's golf just wrapped up the Big 12 championships just over an hour ago. True freshman Ryder Cohen led the way for the Crimson and Cream, shooting 7 under par on the tournament, but it wasn't enough for the Sooners to close the gap on Texas, finishing 2nd in the Big 12 championship by 18 shots. And keeping it on course, OU women's golf is heading to Sin City for the Las Vegas Regional in the NCAA tournament, May 6th through the 8th. Bailey, Kaylee.
Thanks, Ryan. And Edmund Man is facing a long punishment after finishing last in his fantasy football league.
After the break, we'll tell you about the journey to the punishment of all punishments. Stay tuned.
I'm Abigail Franklin with an update on student protests at Columbia University. House Speaker Mike Johnson visited the university today, calling on the school's president to resign, saying that Jewish students' safety is a top priority and denouncing anti-Semitism. The speaker plans to call President Biden and demand action be taken, adding if demonstrations aren't contained quickly, it is, quote, an appropriate time for the National Guard. Bailey, Kaylee.
Thanks, Abigail, for that update, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on that situation. Now here in Oklahoma City, after finishing last in his fantasy football league, an Edmond man is serving the ultimate punishment. He's walking all the way to the Paycom Center from Edmond for tonight's playoff game.
Jimmy Quinn is documenting his 15-mile trek on Facebook with the hashtag Jimmy's Long Walk. He began his journey early this morning in hopes of making it before tip-off, and just moments ago, he posted that he finally made it. Congratulations, Jimmy. Hope you enjoy the game. Now, he got really lucky that the weather was nice. I know it was raining a little bit this morning, so he had to walk a little bit in the rain, but it was pretty good for him overall. But unfortunately, that's just not going to stay for the rest of us.
And a great reward. I mean, get to go to the Thunder game.
That's true.
Well, let's head over to Josh Duncan for one last look at the weather. Josh.
Yeah, no rain tonight, but it will be mostly cloudy with a low of 64 in Norman. Then tomorrow, most of the day is bone dry with an overcast sky, a high of 77. And notice the winds tomorrow, breezy out of the south, 10 to 20. Gusts up to 30 will be frequent. The windy weather is going to stay with us through the first half of the weekend as well, with 2 storm chances, one late Thursday night, another one Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. Then we dry out for the second half of the weekend with 80s for Sunday afternoon. Back to you.
Thanks, Josh, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kaylee Carnine.
And for one last time at the desk, I'm Bailey Coyle. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
You know you don't have to wear your